delinquent platform. TTPTV. Oh yeah. Unale we pledge with love and loyalty to we sweet, sweet mama salute. Now we all come together as one. For tomorrow, now we go make salute.
able for bribing way through. So all them thing in the and lack of transparency as well in we sector them. So when you lack transparency, people them not they able for trust the system. So now that's now we major.
When they verify what the first and the second one they do, also the project. It doesn't make sense. You have to prepare for election. And when you prepare for election, they get the results.
Okay, so before the final result they be announced by ECSL, the National Returning Officer, we see a press statement. They say this election by all means for go on off.
When you observe elections, whatever you observe, you report to ECSL, will give you accreditation. No civil society, neither no international body, not to parallel. Election is run by the legal instrument, the 1991 Constitution, 2022 Public Elections Act, 2022 Local Government Act, and other legal instruments there. Now they run election. When you go against the one and they go begin condemn the election, say not free, not fair, not transparent. Maybe what I listen to, you get 774 polling stations. But now 300 you put in a free to. Out of 11,800 and something. But you are telling me about 6.3% of you come to that conclusion. And where ECS will get the mandates, you understand? And we also observe the election. The way ECS carry it, it's different from what you carry it. And ECS conduct the election. We all see. Maybe what we go vote. Say they vote for person now. Before the announcement of results, you see the fake they go on social media. You see somebody with their abroad, all kind, all kind. You understand? Not so then they won election. Do your homework well.
Now that thing don't be like I don't be so as you explain now. What you need for be done?
6.3%. Now you monitor. You come with that conclusion there. Election are they so. Election they count every polling station, every ballot you they count time you arrive at conclusion. I think say or estimation, you know the para.
The content of every police station itself now one international organization they request for from ECSL they say for police the number of votes and all polling stations them.
Those are the mandates. I don't say, hey, ECOWAS Commission, you be there. They invite 98.1 at the press conference. Where they can say, no executive decision. Now for observe.
So what?
No, they come. ECOWAS Commission.
Yes, the observation.
ECOWAS Commission talks so.
So if you are charged with the responsibility for observe after the observation, what's in next?
Good. So what you observe, you put her in a form, we transparent, we not to lie with the lie. For instance, all my we go observe we talk say some side pulling begin late. Who that deny there? Anybody deny? All land the observe we say some side they mistake this ballot paper. Who that deny there? All my way observe when they say this center they voting there some side like somebody. Who that deny there? Nobody not deny there because anything they happen. What's not happen? Now that tabulation where they had the talk we wrong. I make I don't use best say 2012, 2018. What's in different?
Well, that's now Alfonso Mali, the National Coordinator of Civil Rights Coalition. We then interview with Cherno Jallo, who said they talk about the findings and observation we then do for the June 24 election. Side and say the election will come out peaceful and safe, be free, fair, and transparent.
The program Good Morning Salon continues. Time from we studio clock now 7:39. And as we tell you today inside this edition of the program Good Morning Salon, we they talk to civil society organization them. We can talk on how to bring the country back together. And at this time, once more, they say good morning again to Isata Mahoy, National Network Coordinator for West African Network for Peace Building, Sierra Leone.
Good morning, Satu.
Okay, well, WANEP na a civil society organization. We don't work on different issues. Then we get the responsibility for ensure say they work around early warning response, youth peace organization engagement, and also they work on things that we forget them to civil society organization then, so that we're able to take the space for continue to talk on issues and working in the interest of the public. And one also inside the June 24 election, we get a whole situation room now that is in blue. Also, then safe be the part of the electoral process for ensure say they get first-hand information and the part of all engagement with other observers them also we become out other country them for can observe the country in June 24 election. I said before we start for talk on the peace issue we therefore listen and view them go on really get an insight on one the mandate on that particular day because when I play a key role also navigate a whole situation for sake of the election.
Okay, Fambuluna, good morning. One play a role even before the elections day. Normally, we are an organization where all over Africa we do, and we try for make sure say we work on what we call early warning and early response. And because of that, one have been done identify through the Office of National Security, the National Threat Assessment, been done identify hotspot area them for violence. And apart from that as well, one of the mandates under the early warning components now, every site we gather information on indicators for violence in other country. So with this, we get an MOU with ECOWAS and AU, where we get that and we monitors them, where they on the ground, where they identify the indicators then they and report Now the online platform then we ECOWAS they support we na the ECO1 and also the AU reporter framework. So we get them platform in the when in the help in decision making processes inside the AU, then at the African Union and also ECOWAS. Now the different countries then outside in there. So for these elections, we been get support from the United Nations Development Program. Well, the money come out from the United Nations Peace Building Fund, we pass through UNDP and Salonia, so we then support we first for train monitors them. So we train 80 monitors them where they gather information, and then we also reactivate what we call the National Elections Response Group, where that elections response group it gets both state and non-state actors then. We get ECSL, the PPRC, the Office of National Security, we get SLAG, we get member from 50-50 group, eminent women, interreligious council, and then the EDAM. Then we get plenty other people then from different walks of life. Then that National Elections Response Group Day, we do a replica of now 8 districts for these particular elections. The 8 districts are Falaba, Karine, Potloko, Bombali, Kono, Kailan, Western Area Rural, and Western Area Urban. Because then districts here, so according to the threat assessments, they've been getting their own unique indicators then for violence in the lead up to elections. So we set up what we call the DAGs, when at the National and the District Elections Response Group, we work alongside the NAG. And then NAG and DAG, they been train them on mediation, negotiation, and advocacy and dialogue for identify issues of violence na the districts outside and they at community level, and also try for do mediation most of the time and commit dialogue when issues they go wrong. So then 8 districts and they because of the nature or the context in which they been in the lead up to elections, they've been conduct plenty community outreach activities. Then do community engagement with key stakeholders them, and also radio discussions, drama, na the community them. So the NAG, when at the National Elections Response will be also they give technical support to them. Because for instance, when incidents occur in any district, particularly both local, Kono, if the DAG where they and then things say they're not able for attend to that issue they alone, then they call on the NAG, then the NAG give technical support. So now that will be known data, and the data gatherers them or the monitors that will be done trained for this particular project, then so same way so alongside when they gather information when they put now we online platform on daily basis. And then they inform we on Usai flashpoints day, Usai we for respond immediately. So another one day. So for meet up the elections, we train 350 conflict and peace monitors where we deploy them on elections day, and we cover 350 polling centers in the country. So we look at areas then we get conflict context past other areas them like Freetown when at the western area we been give them about 80 40 now rural and urban, and other areas then like Bonth about 7 because then get some even though we get 1 or 2 incidents we occurred, but the context of being a problematic district in not being shown. So the scale at which the hotspots be identified in have been on the low scale. So like then kind districts and then a small number we assign monitors then to. So during the elections day, I mean before the elections day, we establish what we call the election situation room, the ESR. Inside that situation room, they will be get within we call the data gatherers room, where we been get about 25 young people them. When they get feedback from the districts them, also we deploy, we monitors them, where they feed into the situation room. And then they gather the information. When they don't put them together, then send them to the analysis room. Inside the analysis room, we get key other state civil society personnel them. We also get academics, we get lawyer them where they inside. Then role now for being they look at the reports, analyze them. So the report is shown at the dashboard, the percentage of weighting we gather For instance, we be monitor wetin we call how voting been start, like the opening of the polling station. We will get that information there. We will forget a percentage of how many polling stations or centers open early, how many not open early, how many open between 8 and 9. So we get all them statistics then there. Then we look at also the presence of political party agents, where we also be able to identify the percentage at which most of the political parties then be able for show for send them party agents and at them polling station in day. We also get what we call the materials and the voting materials. Then come quick na the center, waiting have been the issues then. So all them one in day, now that we've been do. So in each day, we been get press conferences. We've been called the one when I've been the 23rd of June, we been get a press conference for tell the public say we don't open, and we ESR day na Radisson Blue, and we dey get previous subsequent press conferences there. On elections, they will be get two. First for inform voters them and the electorate and citizens them on how the process don't go so far, and later in the day around 7 for close, for tell them how the closing mental like what's not the mishap then we happen inside gaps day and all that in day. Then the next day we will get the post elections day monitoring as well, and then same way so try for understand within the context na the country. We monitor the areas then we monitor. So basically now that we do. So we know the tap there actually, because we get what we call response mechanism where they continue. Because
Okay.
we see by the time when they announce half of the result or that 60% of the results, we been get some skirmishes here and there.
Okay, we
So,
will definitely
yeah.
come to that particular area there. From
Okay.
the premise where you don't it clear say one be play a very important role and be involved in the whole electoral process on June 24. And in line with that, it simply means you're going to get general assessment of what you think about the whole election day. So what you will say in that particular area there?
Well, for the way they always talk for the polling station them where we cover the 300 and polling center them, sorry, where we cover, and there was relative calm, and we been get issues like places like Laura Dove, they mean delay for Brinkham and voting materials they, so Kuskas been begin they will get places and like Usai also report they say some people they not been get ID card, we they not allow them for votes. Some then say they allow them for votes. All the incidents and they will be able to capture them because we are incidents we monitor for mostly. And because we monitor incidents, we go say relatively the polling stations, those centers them being calm to a certain extent, because the incidents that will occur not get significant impact on the outcome of the elections.
Okay, so earlier you make mention about peace monitors them we una be send a different place them for monitor the particular election. So within are some of the team them with them peace monitors there find out with regards the peaceful process.
Well, first, plenty districts being record say if the process been peaceful, and mostly what we observe it like na the district level or community level voting been starts there much earlier than waiting up in our western area. So we've been check and say the ECS have not been to prepare well for send the material then at the polling center them at that particular moment. I think then late in that particular aspect there, and also some mix up been come inside where some polling station the materials the way for good they go na other polling stations. So that kind tension they been there. We can get some small tension as a result of that one day. But at the end of the day, the place been calm during the voting day, and like I say, relatively peaceful at that time.
So as somebody who on the work when it comes to good governance, democracy and safe for promote peace with regards all which you don't do. So what do you think say na some of the things them where they disturb peace na any country?
It plenty small na this country. One when we been do we early warning analysis, we realize hate speech what they call violent communication. It been plenty too much. Misinformation towards electioneering processes been too much. Then we get what we call destruction of physical property, than they self been there. Then according to our analysis, we also think say this rivalry party politics it been too plenty, so it dey make the hate wey dey inside people and they comot. A small thing trigger that them minds them, so that thing they been plenty too much. And also we look at how the context, democratic context done dey so far in some years ago, since some years ago. You look at how people don't perceive how we did in this country. Now the winner takes all syndrome. So it puts a certain tribe or a certain region at on edge, because once if na APC they na power, then they look at mainly for support then young people them, or mainly then young people then they benefit. Same way so with SLPP. Now the same thing then self the camper. I know they say they know they give appointments to others, but when you look at the scale, you look at the rate at which other people and from the other regions are appointed. I think we still get problem between the APC and the SLPP. We don't hold power too much in this country. Then we look at what we call the level playing field, and not been there for most political parties. We have smaller political parties, we're not able to shine at all, because when you look at the economic standing, they're not able to compete with big political parties. So the environment's no favorable for them. So you see, by the end of towards when they go towards the elections, you see say some don't merge, they don't form a group where then they support particular political parties. Then not to say then self no want for win elections, no one for then at the race, but you cannot compete with people in way the gap is so wide. So now all them thing and it can bring some kind of tension, because most Sierra Leoneans they look for change, and then they feel say they will get them in some other political parties. Because when you talk to plenty people, they tell you, elites for that matter, they tell you say, oh, we're tired with SLPP and APC always ruling us. We need to see change they occur. We need to see that much of change. So we are just stagnated. So people and they look forward to new political parties or smaller ones where something they feel safe. But with the margin, where then they merge, we see it disappoints a lot of people then as well. And the level playing field. Then you look at also another thing is lack of trust on state institutions as well. People not trust state institutions then. The security sector mainly, and mostly then they look at the police. The reason is because they feel say, or they think say, the police always know they act professionally. Not get me wrong, there are so many good police around, but also in any society, you get bad one then, you get good one then, where the bad one they're not able for create change, they're not able to accept change. So they want and they will go for try still find way for see how they go able for strengthen the security sector, revamp them, reform them. Again, although we don't get security sector reform, but we look for strategies the way they help them for let them able for straighten the one and they will still get some kind bend attitude upon them. Then you look at the judiciary. A lot of people they complain, plenty issues then they come up where they say the judiciary no independent at all. So we go for look at issues where strategies where also they try for strengthen that particular aspect there and build them more for make them become an independent society sector. Because people they allege, or mostly it can happen in talk say they know they give a level playing field for people. For instance, people then get issues, you all get money, go win, go get more favor na the justice system, because able for bribing way through. So all them thing in the and lack of transparency as well in we sector them. So when you lack transparency, people them not they able for trust the system. So now that's now we major problem them now alone. If I remember some are able for talk about them.
Okay. Okay, so with all of the issues that we do highlight, starting from the level playing field and other concerns the way you'd always. So what in this mean to governance and self-state consolidation?
It means that we will always they get pushcars. We will always they get that kind plaba the way people they not get trust in the system. It creates so many doubts. And for make development good it will be very difficult. So I think what we need for do in that light is a try for shape ourselves properly as a country. Then one day where they lead, where they be for and governance business, try for be accountable to the people. Until we do that, we're not going to forget peace in this country. Because all the time, even when you do the right things, people listen and say, no, something must wrong. People must criticize, people must talk within them feel, and they get right for talk about that. Even when you do the right thing, as long as the doubt stays somewhere, you always get into it. And it creates tension. It puts people on edge. And the small trigger they get, it lead with something else. I want to share one good news. The
Right.
good news where I want for share now that a report don't come out on the Global Peace Index.
Yeah.
We put Sierra Leone in a very good position at this time. So we don't come 3 spaces up. Now the Global Peace Index will be in the 50. Now we don't go 47. Now the world, and now a very good thing that one day. So let we continue for be peaceful citizens, and let we sustain the peace way we don't already get. We don't come out, we don't go through a lot. We don't suffer. We don't suffer too much. Let we not go back. Let politics not take we to Usai we no want to go again.
Okay, so now most of the things that we highlight in the issue of institution them where the society not trust and transparent, then they don't come up every day from different civil society organization them. When you look at the country, the post-election situation and one way plenty people came freed for say, then the political tension can hide because the feeling of losing of the Huawei loss and okay easy supporter them can always in that panic, anger, you mistake anything if it trigger them. At this moment, the country in a post-election situation, I would start for describe this particular moment.
Well, these are very tense moments, and nobody no will lie to you. People are not happy. People not feel good about the outcome of the process itself. But just like I say, because of lack of trust in institutions,
Like whose kind of institutions? So
the state institutions I'm talking
Okay.
about, and the tension we did so now, any little thing can trigger an outcome we all know we're glad for. But again, let people remember say, beyond politics, we for always take within for react and respond to waiting they go on. Because once we get chaos, members say not to one family they suffer that one day, we all they suffer, and we all they go through the pains where poverty or hardship in the country. So now that now one person they suffer, we all they go through them, especially the poor one them, especially the people and where they find them very difficult for and to mouth. It's very difficult for everybody. We all they buy paper the same. 5,000, all money band the same. Yabasta small one, 5,000, 10,000, we all the band the same. So poverty no the big face when it they eat you. Same way so we fet the stone no the pick. Bullets no the pick. So enough fine for me we dey in that kind tense mood day because of political ideologies or because of things that we go wrong for satisfy some political set of class. So the other thing is not that we don't allow politics for so embedded inside with that if I start to wear green clothes or you wear red clothes, it will be termed either APC or SLPP. You talk something today, we not favor one set of political ideology just because you talk when are the right thing you talk because then do the wrong, then go time you say na so I Saturday or any other person. People don't fall victims of all of this. And then they point finger. Now the worst thing now that where people they use them political power for silence other people then. People then they use political power for manhandle or beat other people then. All them they're not supposed for exist You're not supposed to exist at all. We for
Okay.
coexist as Sierra Leoneans them, live peacefully among ourselves and try for look for ways how we will help for develop this country.
Okay, continue for the with we Isaac Amahoy, in the National Network Coordinator for West Africa Network for Peace Building Sierra Leone, WANEP. We don't take with you the role we WANEP play inside the election and things that we need for be done now as we for bring the country back together. Inside the program, Good Morning Salon now, not time for logo for a break.
Guru, kapito no mi me kleni erekaye. Abo itabele ni yen. Di kebele ba togbo boti ya. Guru momo ibu ni.
Ikaba, comment senga mangane suenga.
Wan mu no te so yagba. Iti no kwada mo ro bank. Am bank ayet magidi count of better me to kone.
Ko bankenga, ko makoyo dienga.
Asi a loan commercial bank. Apo ba tere to fort kena ke. Salatate, apo karabion retirement account. They be the kwada one take be ko kanti million retirement account. Alternative pay, o de pay to back. Ita benen kala taraba kiramune.
Siteng, apart tenga molomien. Ande ekbenga bakitamgo, daba kisodam deyen. Satie, sasko kanti a million retirement account. Kade mi tugu tampanye ba.
Come on, Kadi, I'm your retirement account. I need a little Kamekin, Kankala Sofoni. Or I can't need a little a wool Kameki, Kankala Sokur. At the minute, Baramu, 10% Kankalamu. Let me know where the Kala anchor him to Butoi.
Clear me tas neba. Apa bote.
I saw a commercial bank. And that's I'm your hey, and to be so much checkbook. And to be so a VIP card. Baby moon on to be both a Leon Kamekin, Kankala Sofoni. Hey, come if you know so that's one ya.
Itula mamu, ini get set about it ashete. Wa pa yan boti tila, about swellings, or about malane.
One body carry me pong, at the police sorry smooth. Salata Ankala Mutoye, Takareka accountable. Somebody fool, hey, as a loan commercial bank. And the police also as a loan commercial bank visa card. And the police also as a loan commercial bank mobile app. And the police bar ferry, Tago carry Emma sitting a matela ATM. Card out of us so be out on the run.
Mina sa ba so ki check down. Kan na we dimshi, mina so ko ne kan kitamu down.
Ida na gbomu no to dire. Alternative pay take be ne kala tani ne. Your retirement account. Kare it's up to the bank mi darenye. Mbato ID card mu. Or anasit card mu card a document em tori. Do mu no ye. Ye password picture mu ne. Ko ba te ba ya be ma ba ke ye ma ka be kan tem million retirement account.
Ye me ka me yagba, e ka be to koto ne yi. Mina so ye man nkepa e, ik beneta benina mi ka a million retirement account.
A million retirement account. Maybe we want to work it out for yourself. We work out to know. We work out the office. That's a better account. Must go one because candy account. Million retirement account.
Investment banking and money transfer. ATM 7 now we bank the ticket.
The program Good Morning Salon they continue, and today inside the program they talk to civil society organization where they talk about things and where the country need for do for go back together and get peace. And so far we still get Isaac Amahoy between at the studio. Continue for day with us inside the program. Now we look at another issue. February 8th this year, the Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development may ask all mayor and chairperson for handover office to the chief administrator them by the 1st of March this year, so till after the June 24. Well, from that time day to now, the chief administrator don't they oversee the work of the council in the country. And as you know, again, the Electoral Commission of Salon will announce the winner for the mayoral seat. The chief administrator at the Freetown City Council, Festus Calais, don't call on the person we go win the mayoral seat in Freetown City Council, but do think them we go improve sanitation at the country. Festus Calais talk more about this issue inside this interview to Cherno Jallo. Also, I start for talk about waiting they not able to do as the head of the Freetown City Council.
As the mayor step aside, the administration come together. The first thing we do was look at the sanitation and revenue mobilization, and of course security we get for the metropolitan policing. Of course, capacity building, for we staff them. For modern Canadian Council, will not ever give capacity building to any of the people or conduct training for every other staff at this council. We do during the course of this transition. Sanitation, we emphasize sanitation. Right? See, finance before now, then normally you go to that market skin dirty, that's why the dirty is spill, it cannot grow. We stop all canteen because we introduce night cleaning. So if I say then normally the level my area, then they say they can bottom mango. Also, if I say they relatively clean because we make sure we put structures in place. The daytime, if you were the rain, they come out, we will not get no experience of flooding so far because people in the out and about will make sure we do drainage clearing and all that kind of thing. Of course, with the support of central government, we make sure we use small funding for keep going within this cause of the transition. So to a very large extent, it has been successful. Even in terms of infrastructure, we've done so much in terms of infrastructure. Right, like that old building before if you see them, it was in a very deplorable condition. I would not rehabilitate them or other staff the way they did to revenue mobilization. They all get for down there. So that go for give less pressure on this particular facility. So that people the way they come for Kandu collect a business license, whether they use the lift on a regular basis, all that will come minimize. So that go for save electricity cost and repairs and maintenance on the lift. So all of these material don't put in place during this course of this transition. So to a very large extent, to achieve so much, but there's still yet something more than for do still.
We can watch out some of the things that we still see more day for do. But before we change that, you talk about revenue, you talk about also improving the sanitation na Freetown. Look watch at the one we get for do with revenue. Within this shortest term we don't take over, how revenue look like now the council?
Well, the first thing, we don't make progress on one day. Right? Because if you look at the first thing we do, set out a strategy for which to talk to the people. One, for identifying new businesses. Number two, for also make sure say the people who are bigger for pay property to not pay it, like Kwataki, they all engage in, and they all see compliance from the end of the day. So we see improvement in terms of property rates. But also get for bear mindset, we come for property rates, for example, the highest peak, and then January to March. So April, of course, we see massive improvement in April. May, it only come down small. June, the figures because a lot of people don't come pay the property rates. But if you come to business license, there's been a steady progress in terms of what to be proposed we collect in terms of business license. Market use has been a steady progress, right, in all of the areas and so overall, if you look at your collection from that same way the mayor step aside to now, we'll be making steady progress and we'll continue for making despite all the challenges.
Make what are the projection and what are the collected amount within the shortest term we don't can office?
All right, well, if you look at the total projection of 51 billion euros, we decide say we generate for we project the budget. And as a result of that, we say every month we collect 4.something billion. But like I said, there are certain revenue areas where the projection, the collection will fall, right? Because of now they get a peak period of the property rates. Okay. But for business licenses, it has been very much consistent. So we put all together every month. We must make sure so we get that target of 4.something billion each month. So like I said, it has been very much successful so far because of this transition.
So in other words, now the collection any month 4.something billion.
That is what yes, and that's
in all of the areas that produce revenue.
That's right.
Okay, so also go back to the sanitation, which is very important. How it all look like?
If you look at the previous setup. We not get, but we never get sanitation infrastructure. That I can tell anybody, anywhere with the Canaya, right? Anytime they announce the results, they have to make sure we have a sanitation infrastructure.
Maybe we go back to the capacity training we see you don't do for staff them at council. How many staff then benefit in this? And what are the focus of this training?
The focus of this is like we're gonna council, this council, we have various departments. So okay, move people in from license, we send a kind of bailiff section, we send a records management, we send a finance. But before now, we see they recruit somebody, they just can't sit down. You don't ever get scanning and so waiting the various departments that they mean. So conduct this training for like they get a feel of what records management mean, what procurements mean, what revenue, what financial management means, and all that kind of thing. So to get the opportunity to come up from bailiff, for example, can look from local tax or finance, if I don't get fair knowledge as to what you get for me to say. So this is not the essence of the capacity building. So it cuts across one, the staff within the office here, and the relevant sections that we really manage the critical components of your administration. Now they really target, and I hope say any new mayor and councillors that come, they get for really make sure that they focus on that kind of thing because it's very, very much important. Capacity building is very much key. It was very much successful.
And despite the fact say you don't do this capacity training for staff, then you don't improve sanitation and you also don't increase revenue generation according to you just now. Are there any challenges?
Yes, we get challenges because we still, like I tell you, if you look at the budget of 51 billion, we still have challenge in terms of how for reach that particular estimate, right? Because compliance is still a challenge, right? So these are things with the new set of mayor and councillors we have to look into. How do we improve compliance? Of course, we are doing it for get central government support. They get for CANESF, we let them make sure they support you in doing all of that. So revenue mobilization compliance is one component we really get for improvement. Like I tell you, but we can part the sanitation infrastructure, right? We need to forget small trucks then. We need to forget vehicle. You know what I mean? So all of them saying they're very much important for push the system go before.
Well, that's the chief administrator of the Freetown City Council, Festus Kale. But they talk inside that interview to Chair Nojala. Also, they talk about the things that we don't do as the chief administrator, and later inside the interview we also call on the person we go win the mayoral seat na Freetown for make sure say do team them we go improve the sanitation at the country. You still listen to the program Good Morning Salon, and it will continue.
Well, with me at the studio, we get John Kolka, one of the executive director from Komon-Tok. As we make mention earlier, so we will talk to civil society organization them. We can talk about how for bring the country back together after the election. Well, Komon-Tok na one institution we don't meet with different community people for talk about peace and safe, how people for work together as one for better development. Well, John Kolka there for can talk about some of the things that we don't do, and talk about how the country for come back together after the election and see say people work together as one for make better development the Nasalon. Good morning, welcome to the program.
Good morning, listeners, and thank you for having me.
Okay, Komon-Tok na one organization, just like I mentioned earlier, don't they meet with different community and different districts and they talk to people about how them for work together as one. Now the election undone. But before we can talk about waiting will be una preferred solution for make we continue for maintain the peace in the country. Waiting will be una role inside the election.
Thank you very much. We will now before find ways for minimize the violence. And I think like many other CSO groups, we go say we achieve most of that objective because even though there were isolated cases, but it not be there at the scale where we all be the anticipate. So basically, because of the age bracket in the country, we focus on students as a way for help for minimize the violence. We work with about 1,200 students, now about 22 schools, now Kailaon district, Konadugo district, and Moyamba district. And you go observe, say we try for at regional basis. So basically over the last 1 to 2 years, we try for train them peace ambassadors there. So for me, they're able for talk to them parents, them, for talk to them community members. We also use March month for the last 2 years as oral history month for all the schools them, wherein we encourage community members that we go through, we experience the war small bit, either as victims or as offenders, for share their experiences with the students them. Because we realize most of the age bracket were bad politicians, then they target. Now age bracket, they will not experience anything during the war. So just try for pass on that knowledge to them and say, hey, would they enjoy something now? We're not a real treasure. We will go through that phase day, we're not going to make that come ever again na salon. So make sure say the peace prevail, and if there are issues, make we find way for dialogue. So basically, we focus on dialogue. We continue for train the woman them, the peace mothers them, with the hope say when women then come together, me I very much strongly believe in that when women then come together, a lot can be done. Women they think community. When women they talk, they only talk about what they eat or what they picking for eat. And what made that school in the community be very much good. And what made make the hospital be very much relevant. And what made the authorities then they judge fairly. So women are a particular target where we look at say, if they embrace peace, Sierra Leone will be peaceful. Another target now the Community Mediation and Welfare Committee, wherein if something go wrong, few years back we work at sectional level, but now we go down at village level, whereby we hope say, with that small training also, community mediators at village level, if something go wrong, instead of you go to the chief, you go pay money, you fine, where at the end of the day, tension go don't come up, then they go try for resolve them amicably and then work on as a community. Lastly, the last 8 months, we focus on something we call the village development process. We're not calling a village development committee, we call a village development process, whereby we believe say the communities them go able for identify what they want to do, but first they for come together. I give one example. 2 chiefs them. One headman win election, the other one not agree for work with them. And then this was for the last 4-5 months. But when they come together through the village development committee, they're able to identify their weakness, their strength, and then work together and build that barrier where they don't abandon 4 months earlier, then build it in 2 months. So basically, the VDP, the village development process, now one way we believe say will help the sections, the chiefdoms, and the councils. Them. Finally, we negotiate with the councils, with the local government ministry and MOPED, in a way that, so much don't they happen at the district level, the big towns them, whereby the villages them, the communities not get much for accounts for. So we try for say, Papa government, Mama government, see how you respond to people they need. So we get what we call people's development plan. I mean, the people's planning process, whereby the people then they identify what they want, how they want them, but then they wait for government or NGO. We hope for taken now and taken to the councils them and the government for me then support them. But that will happen at the sectional level. So they hope say over the next couple of months, we will find ways to make the people within at the village them, the communities them, meaning not just the things say they're only relevant election time, but make them be relevant beyond election time.
Okay, we'll continue for the routine at the studio. Now we'll go for a break and come back and continue with the program.
UTB, Union Trust Bank, the game changer don't come. As we the lead, others they follow. And just with your mobile phone, you go transfer and receive money with ease, speed, and safety. UTB don't make it possible for collect money na ATM machine without the ATM card. Now that we call cardless ATM. You, the UTB customer, go send money to anybody and deposit and collect the money na any UTB ATM panel without any ATM card. All it can do now for just enter the reference code and collect the money. The UTB copper in safe day. With this UTB copper, any UTB customer can transfer copper with a mobile phone to anybody up to 5 billion loans. And with the reference code, the person can go to any UTB branch and collect the copper. Union Trust Bank, we there for you.
Well, the program Good Morning Salon will continue, and today inside this edition of the program Good Morning Salon, where they talk to civil society organization, where they talk about things where the country need for do for bring peace and unity. And we get John Coker, Executive Director of Komon-Tok, and also Aissata Mahoy, National Network Coordinator, West Africa Network for Peace Building, Sierra Leone, WANEP. Well, we they come over to you, Aissata Mahoy, and your last line where you be make you talk clear say during this post-election moment. I mean, you get certain set of people where it is gone and not pleased with the outcome of the result. Where if any little thing trigger them, I mean, it will be a problem. So in that situation, yeah, as it is clear, say certain set of people in the way know really glad. I mean, post-election trauma, panic, and that feeling of losing. Now one way plenty people knocking one for go through, and when they get in their situation, then they often can make them vex even when they're not supposed to. What do you think are some of the first steps that we need for be done for bring everybody together, and the first step for come out from all that exactly?
Okay, the first step now from the leadership of the country. Of course, I really it up in speech say he call on other opposition leaders for making them work together for help build this country. I dey pray that it mean that from the bottom of your heart. It mean that and so that it go able for bring everybody on board, because only when that happen, it go able for help change the minds of people. If you, the leader, embrace each and everyone, that will put we, I mean, the country in a position where we then go left for talk, but we as people and we left for faith, of course, among themselves. So I think that first step there, President Madabio for being a magnanimous leader and call people together for let them begin get dialogue and talk about how things for go before. Then also the responsibility lies on the civil society organizations. Then. Even though we constrain so much that the lack of resources, they make plenty of the civil society organizations that not be operative fully, and also tends for sometimes just keep aback and avoid the process.
But in line with that, quickly, people get a view say most of the civil society don't align themselves with political parties. So even if they say something based on neutrality or patriotism, people certain sets of people must very link you to
Yeah.
a political
I
party.
mean, don't talk say the lack of trust in institutions then. So until we're not talking about the civil society, the young partner, I just talk about state institutions. Yeah, because now people not to trust civil society, but there are civil society organizations which still maintain and still make sure say they are neutral in supporting the process itself. And so we dey look forward for make we continue for engage, first for rebrand the civil society we dey, for let we self cleanse we self, we watch within we self, we cleanse we self, and make sure say all what we dey do na in the interest of Mama Salon. So that one they go help we a lot. Until we begin for rebrand we self and cleanse we self, people no go take we seriously, you know. And even the political parties themselves get a responsibility. I mean, the one that we don't depend this race, we right now then bitter to some extent. I they call on the leadership of the APC as well. We so far I think say I for applaud them because they exercise restraints and the role now for able for talk to them, support them, for making them support them able for understand say this is an election, this is politics, the election don't pass, we don't get the leader, and if they get anything where they aggrieve about, I mean the cut-off law day, let them take the legal procedures them and try first settle this and put Mama Saloni interest before rather than putting political party interest before. And same way so, this ruling government will be aided by the SLPP. Then SSF for also make sure say when they don't come in governance, then for be very, very strategic in terms of trying to ensure that they work with each and every person. Because so far people some people when they complain or feel aggrieved that even when they're in a workplace they tension them, then they get tension on our workplace and they feel scared, some they even afraid for go work in the morning because then they feel say it is supports APC or other party not in favor of this government. All that one not supposed to happen. We go in a workplace, we supposed for work in peace and put Mama Saloni interest for the betterment of this country. What you all they look at now development. If for truth with the political party then they then get the country attacked and then they say now for development purposes. I think so we all supposed for build, forget that one day and showcase say we all wait to the fight for now for develop Mama Salon, not for bring other things. Because for the past days, after they don't read the elections, so many threats they come up. Then they threaten some other people then they cyberbully some other people then they cause all them bad things and they continue. And the threat for say people then go come back for can and disrupt the peace of this nation. We don't want nothing, we don't want for Yeri. We don't want for Yeri that again, we don't want for slide down to that lane day again. So me they call on all Sierra Leoneans then for make we all engage together, make we commit ourselves to dialogue, make we commit ourselves to respect, make we commit ourselves to peace. Now that's how they call Sierra Leoneans then for this particular moment.
Okay, continue for the tweet. I said I'm name in the National Network Coordinator for West Africa Network for Peace Building Sierra Leone. Inside the program, Good Morning Salon. Now we did look at another issue.
The Vice President, Dr. Mohamed Jallo, don't pledge in commitment for support President Bio for implementing the SLPP manifesto commitment to the people of Salon inside the next 5-year development program them in the country. Well, they talk this na status Thursday, June 29 this year, where they take the oath of office for official beginning work as the Vice President na the country for in second term. For more on this, make we join Musa Kamara.
According to Section 54, Subsection 4 of 1991 Constitution, Act Number 6, before the Vice President begin in work officially for take the oath of office, we make the Vice President Dr. Mohamed Jallo don't take the oath of office before President Biona State Oath Thursday, July 29 this year, for start in second term as Vice President of the Republic of Salon.
I, Mohamed Jallo, do hereby the name of God solemnly affirm that I will faithfully and truly discharge the duties of the office of Vice President of the Republic of Sierra Leone, and that I will support, uphold, and maintain the Constitution of Sierra Leone as by law established. So help me God.
The Vice President tell thank you to President Bio for work with him inside the past 5 years
and serve, we agree for work with them inside the next 5 years.
Your Excellency, let me first of all thank God for this day and for a successful election. In particular, His Excellency, I want to thank you for your confidence reposed in me over the last 5 years. Let me take this opportunity to thank you for your extraordinary leadership and mentorship in the last 5 years. On behalf of my colleagues who served under you for the last 5 years, I want to say we are very proud of you, proud of your achievement, and indeed Sierra Leone is very proud of you.
The Vice President, Semweso, say the effort where President Bio show inside the campaign make the party win back for the next 5 years.
Your Excellency, also on behalf of the Sierra Leone People's Party, we want to thank you very much for an amazing campaign which served as a source of inspiration for all of us. The commitment, the energy, and leadership you demonstrated in this campaign is unrivaled in the history of our great party.
For sake of all this, make Dr. Mohamed Jule Jallow pledge in commitment for support President Bio for implement the SLPP manifesto promised them to the people of Salone.
His Excellency, let me conclude by reaffirming my commitment to serve you with utmost dedication as you embark on another 5 exciting years to implement your manifesto commitment to the people of this country. I thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum.
Dr. Mohamed Jule Jallow end up for call on Salone people for work with the government for ensure say them push the country and develop one good before. For the Society for Radio Democracy, Musa Kamara, the reports.
The program you listen to, now good morning, Salo. They come to you from the Society for Radio Democracy, 98.1 FM, 828. Now the time now from the studio, still get with studio guests them, where they talk about the way forward for peace, and we get John Cocker, we are the executive director of Komon-Tok, and he don't they talk about the mediation peace process, what they do with regards to different projects there, then they do not different districts in the country. John, earlier before we go, you be done to talk about different things they want to do. And from waiting Dr. Mai just don't talk, we get for do with how we for move forward now as a country after the election on done, and people will agree how they accept everything and move forward. And he make mention about the opposition, and that's now one thing we now concern to all man, because most people be think say after the presidential result, maybe a reaction come out from the opposition. But you see the maturity way they don't display so far from where they announced the result in now. You see everybody calm and people in the good and normal business where not so that someone be they foresee. So with that kind of maturity, they will come out from the opposition as somebody where don't they do mediation, peace talk between different people and districts. What you make up of this?
I think within the Vice President just say, in say the campaign is a source of inspiration. I would like to see the campaign as a source of inspiration, not only for what them put in the manifesto, but also for make them able to adjust the manifesto for me the reality of the people. You know, as we all believe, this election, the electionary process, give them the opportunity for go around the country, then listen to people. Where they not be do that before them put the manifesto together. So I think said that's not one thing. But above all, this election show we say there is a major issue with trust. The issue with trust is cut across at all levels. And I believe say that's not one thing we as a nation for build on. You know, I just talk about trust lacking at different levels. Miko say yes, but that will be one of the major, the first task from the President Julius Maada Bio, and in team for make them heal the divisions there in the country, because they stand for lose more if we continue like this.
So
some of we raise the issues than they 4 or 5 years back. You can observe say with all what thing they do and all reflected in the votes, it's because they not reach out, or maybe they reach out but the other side not accept. So whatever the case, we're not there for issue blame. But the point is, they go for work together. 2 major issues they will come out now, both manifestos, we meet capitalize on, where they for work together on, bipartisan. The issue of youth employment. APC say that's not a priority for create 500,000 jobs. SLPP say so, APC say so. So may them work on that bipartisanly. The issue of women, they all agree, say, women, they forget that 30%. Would they doubt if that will be reflected in this election? But now progress. So basically, may them work on then 2 things in the, and also the issue of food. Both parties talk about the food, and above all, communication.
Okay.
President Bion might do a lot, but not communicate well to the ordinary Sierra Leoneans for me to understand the context in which things will happen and the response to the challenges.
We'll come back to you, John Cocker, I name Executive Director of Komon-Tok. Inside the program now, we'll go for a break.
Use cement when a superior quality. Cement where they give you value for your money. Cement where they settle your wahala, where you can get pan cement business. Cement where they show you the strangeness. Usai im matter. Cement where meets international standard. And that's not Dangote 42.5 R grade 3 export land limestone cement. When a good quality and best cement na the country. You know, see when me building Timap Ticket and Tranga, Dangote 42.5 R grade cement, na the highest grade pan cement, where you know the fair no side for buying na the country. No say you deserve the best quality grade cement, where then test and confirm say na the best. No make them tell you, no settle for less. Buy Dangote 42.5 R grade cement for pull yourself pan kotat, losses and wahala. Dangote 42.5 R grade cement na the best among the rest.
What if I go? She said she know me got a woman on me.
Baby, you don't hear the other samba where GT Bank get for we?
Wow, now wetin GT Bank get for we?
Na GT Bank no more can do am. You know Yegi say GT Bank they give free airtime or data. Just listen to this. Anytime where you go collect money, whether send for you via money or even MoneyGram service, now any of the GT Bank branch them all over the country, GT Bank they give you free airtime or data. It tell like you know Yegi good. I say anytime where you go collect money, whether send for you via money or even MoneyGram service. Now any GT Bank branch them all over the country, GT Bank they give you free airtime or data. Me self no go left behind. And they go collect me money one time where they send for me through real money service and Sally in yon where they send through MoneyGram service for make we self enjoy the free airtime or data where GT Bank they give. GT Bank, it go better. You bank with we.
The program Good Morning Salon they continue. Today inside this edition, they talk to civil society organization, they really talk about things where the country need for move forward so that peace and unity go day. We get 2 studio guests with we at the moment. But as now inside the program, we go online as we try for talk to somebody from the Peace Commission, when our Samai Executive Secretary, for can tell we about the Global Peace Index. Hello, good morning, and welcome to the program. Good morning and welcome to the program. Good morning, Salon. Well, the program Good Morning Salon continue as we try to get our Samai on the line. We come over to a studio guest. Them. Okay. We don't get a sign for say we don't get them on the line. Hello, our good morning and welcome to the program Good Morning Salon.
Good morning. Good morning, everybody.
Okay, as the Executive Secretary for the Peace Commission, we see the Global Peace Index reports don't come out now. First of all, people go want for let you confirm. Waiting a Salon position on this particular peace index.
Okay, this Global Peace Index will come out day before yesterday, that is the 28th of June 2003. Salon now don't cut up. For the world, we don't become the 47 most peaceful country in the world. And for Africa, we don't become the third most peaceful country in Africa, and for West Africa, now we are the most peaceful country in West Africa.
Okay, so this position of improvement we don't talk about in this different category, what in this mean to the country in peace and democracy? You think say reflective to the reality of what's happen on the ground?
Well, firstly, I want to say we tell Papa God thank you. Also, they take Salon. I look at the most peaceful country in Africa, Botswana. Immediately, I see waiting at their own situation and circumstances. I realize certain thing them. I realize say, you know, mean say everything 100% where they say you peaceful or you know the most peaceful country in Africa. It means say you get apparatus them in place for promote peace and social cohesion, and it's peaceful enough for let people then go about their regular and their normal business, and people are able for come and go without interruption. And that's not exactly what in the happen in Salon. Salon no mean say tit and tongue the jam. We want to tell His Excellency the President thank you for set up this infrastructure of peace architecture where we get right now at Salon the Peace Commission, because with that we able for the coordinate plenty in them for make sure say the system for enhanced peace they work. We they work with the paramount chief them, we they work with the civil society them, we they work with the security sector, we they work with the ghetto bobode, all man. So this na all man for celebrate them, because all man in their own space create the enable environment for promote peace. Special thanks to the security sector, because the security sector now then they ensure say we able for manage this peace even way Kuskas day for settle them in a timely manner, so that the process where we they work on we go able for continue for work on them. Now that's now in the enhanced peace in a country where all the apparatus then they in place for make sure say we able for work towards a peaceful atmosphere, so that everybody will go about them business normally. And we they see that in a Salon. It not mean say we sit and tongue the jam. It not mean say August 10 not happen. But how quick we resolve them? How quick all my able for go about the normal business? How quick me and you two able for come back and do waiting we be supposed to do? Now it make we become this, we able for claim up the ladder, and rather than we stay down the ladder outside all day with the first research, we need to see progress.
So our you don't state say structures and apparatus and they in place, and also on I don't get the will from government for ensure say peace day. Now that Salon don't get 47 stage na the wall on this peace index in third position in Africa, waiting at the things that we country need for continue for do, so that we'll continue for get more better position.
We need for continue. One of the key things that we need for understand, waiting at some of the triggers them where they happen, now we community them where they make we float up. How we for manage the social media better, so that we all go understand, say, not to all thing Jack and Jean where then they throw in at social media we for just sweller. One good thing we want for tell God thank you for, now the I verify. How we go make people them where even Nolan book understand how this I verified and they work, and I then go for check for make sure that some of them things they within our social media not correct, not lie. Like during this time we see then they send some fet send at the north, then they shoot people them only for lay I verify we for check and see say na lie no fet no they under. So we get boku work for do from that community stage they take her up, and how we they help for set up systems then even at community level for make sure say they work for resolve the community the peace at community level. So we get to do a lot from community take on to national level for make sure say we not only sustain this but we surpass this, because I've been not talking at this radio station before. Say Salon we peaceful enough for make we become the most peaceful country in Africa, and that's now we target as the Peace Commission. How we go work for make we reach that position. They not impossible. Now all man business, how we go come together, now all man business, how we go work together, now all man business, and the world go achieve them. Now we all go end up celebrating at the end of the day because we go know say all man contribute towards the peace and social cohesion for this nation.
Okay, plenty thank you to you, our Samai, Executive Secretary for Peace Commission, for that update day on the Global Peace Index. Osai London moved to 47 position globally. Thank you, you give it a brief update day inside the program. Good morning, Salon. Well, that will be our Samai from the Peace Commission. We say Salon don't do well at the Global Peace Index. As Salon in a 47 position now at the world, and third position for Africa. And according to it means the country need for do more. The program Good Morning Salon will continue, and now na time for logo for a break.
Now 5,800 new loans you for pay.
I want for pay you with me card.
Card?
Yes. You don't get POS?
No. Now cash no more I dey take.
Sorry, I no get able to buy na yan. I know they work out with boku money na me hand.
Wait.
You been na 7,200 million. Na cash you want pay?
Yes. You get problem with that?
Yes. Another take cash. More like where the money boku. You no get bank card?
No.
Sorry, I no go able sell give you. I no want keep boku cash na ya. Make the no can't thief me.
Do money business with Colat. With Salon Payment Switch, you can take money with your bank card na any banking ATM. And you can pay for anything what you want. Na sai we get any bank POS.
Attention, attention. Are you hungry for the latest insights on politics and good governance issues from the motherland, Sierra Leone? Look no further than Talking Points, your go-to platform for engaging discussions. Subscribe today and let your voice surge. Talking Points is where smart minds come alive. Subscribe now.
With Talking Points platform, you can dive into thought-provoking discussions, connect with like-minded individuals, and broaden your horizons. Be among the first to know the latest happenings in Sierra Leone. Join us today, subscribe on YouTube, TPP Leone. Like our page on Facebook at Talking Points platform. It's your voice, you are in control. We believe in you. Subscribe now. Like our page.
Inside President,
we love you.
In re-election, re-elect speech we give to the nation, we society extend an olive branch to the opposition, where now the presidential candidate Dr. Samoa Kamara, but yet still people lay in doubt why up to now, we not see any form of acceptance or congratulation message yet from Dr. Samoa Kamara. Even though it has been made known that President beyond any people that don't pick for rule them again for the next 5 years. Why you think say up to now the opposition will respond to the olive branch with the president to extend to them?
Well, thank you. We go always speculate because it's also the process. But before I answer your question, I just want to say, the two leaders then, yes, they're very crucial. But I think say President Bio for also address the SLPP supporters.
In which way? Waiting for me the message.
For make them celebrate in a way that they're not provoke the other parties then.
Anything don't show or they really explain say situation of such to happen?
Again, isolated cases, but we know how to make it get to that level. Make we prevent them. Like what happened in Karine, na Rokula. Now minor thing is pack that kind of problem there. And the same thing happened in 2018. So basically make President Bio address the SAPP supporters that yes, SAPP don't win. Now at the start of the 5 years and make them work together. But in terms of the olive branch to APC, I think say in addition to sending the message through media, we don't know what's going to happen underneath. But me they expect say President for send a team to the losing candidates, may they engage them, and then may them see what's going to happen. Because when President send to you, you're almost bound for listening to what he say. And then we could take him from that level. But we don't know if that don't happen. So I can't comment on that. And the same thing for Samura. If the president will win, a humble enough for reach out to you, say, let's build our country. I think say you say for consider. And the same thing, make Samura Kamara himself make a message to the APC supporters there that yes, this is not the result of ECSL. And until proven otherwise, this is not the 2023, not the result for 2023. So basically, then two get a role for play. But we also know they see what happened behind the scene. The role of the UN coordinator. We go and see, not just for send a message, but make them two meet. Make them get a face-to-face conversation. So maybe that will happen very soon, but we yet foresee that.
But
and we don't know if that
you
happen.
think say the first message, whether whose channel will happen, but the most important thing, once the leader don't make cannot get a positive response from the other side, you think say will go more further?
Well, you see, I will always say this, to His Excellency President Bio, that if the country continue like this, now in the on the losing side, because in the president for Sierra Leone, everyone, and not go easy for govern a divided society. So in for go the extra mile for reach out and find ways for make them work together. So again, we not they say APC for feel big, then for wait for me and can't beg them. No, not so big, but now reach out and then get a moral obligation for serve the people of Sierra Leone and make them all work together. There's a role for opposition in the governance system, but we not know what will happen behind the scene, and we hope say that go take
you
place
say
very
if the
soon.
country continue like this, in that context, what exactly you mean? And you
Well,
also mentioned division.
There's a division. I mean, President Bio get 56.1% supporters. What will happen to the 41 plus supporters of the APC? Again, for reach out to them. Now, in the president for all man. And you're not going to say it just serve one side. So basically, make it reach out because within that 41%, you get saboteurs then within our government. And you don't know what they're going to do. You get other people in other parastates, and you know what they're going to do. It go hot in agenda. And if anyone for really left a legacy, now this country, make it reach out to everybody, make Sierra Leone move beyond this winner take all. That's what I'm saying. Make it go the extra mile for reach out. Make it listen. You remember what happened August 10? After August 10, President Bio reached out to almost all different groups, the traditional leaders, CSOs, the traders, the business people, everybody. And listen to them, then taking action. And we'll see how the issue become to rest. So basically, this is an opportunity for me, the president also reach out, not just to the opposition, but to the people, town hall meetings, listen to what the people and say, why they vote this way, what they need, and respond to the needs of the people. So basically, we they say, may the government be more responsive to the needs of the people and address their concerns. But there is certainly a room for opposition party players, but it has to be constructive.
So maintaining the peace and safe for make way developments good day involves everybody, starting from the politicians, come down to even the citizens and safe CSOs them. So in terms of the citizen them, when it comes to attitudinal change, because I want in the way the former presidents be always on the push for under administration when it comes to attitudinal change. What do you think say people have to work towards Dandy? And secondly, one gets for do with una the CSOs them, because most people they sooner as part of the problem where they make the peaceful protest at the country still be challenged. So in terms of credibility and integrity, I wanna get for work towards that for address them concerning it, because people get a different mindset but the CSOs them as then being part of the problem.
I mean, you actually don't, you ask the question, then you answer them back. That we are part of the problem. I think no CSO person will shy away from that. There is this labeling. You do one thing, they say in an APC, you do something else, they say in an SAPP. But ironically, the same CSO, when they do the other thing back, then go brand them back to the other party. But basically, we get a role for play. Maturity count within the CSO. Make will not be media freaks, whereby you always want to talk on the radio. Try for be very articulate, not just go on the radio. Collect your information, get your data. Then you one statement in the radio, and not they only affect you, like what's happening in Sierra Leone now. That one statement where somebody make, it affect the whole CSO, and that in judgment it go be reflective of we all. So basically, maturity count, and the government of just look at CSO and left whistle. The journalist then work with Sludge. The space now, the media space, the media landscape is very much more professional. So we don't see how they grow. I think so that the same thing by the government for consider. We don't say moped, they don't try, but there's a need for make they also organize the CSO, not just the NGOs, for make we go able to know how to respond to it. But basically, the bottom line is we as Sierra Leoneans for change our attitude. Pakababi famously say Salomon get bad heart. And I believe so we all can confirm that. But how we move from that bad heart, for make we get a clean heart, make we support each other, make we see every Sierra Leonean as a brother and sister. Politics done, election done. Now for move on.
Okay, now Dr. Mai, just the same question I put to Mr. Coker, we get for do with the credibility and integrity of the CSOs then, because most people they see them particular set of people as part of the problem. What's in the way forward from the CSO body?
I've been not begin talk about let we rebrand reserve. You know, for CSOs, I think at this particular time, we need to understand first waiting our mandate. Waiting we supposed for do as CSOs. But a lot of CSOs they come up in the name of CSOs, but then I don't think they understand the mandate. First, and the other thing is, we affect ourselves so much that we extend the effect by even going to mix pan political party business, where we suppose for cleanse the system, for bridge the gap, for make sure say waiting the happen with the govern and the one the way they govern, be held accountable. So now that's now we roll as civil society. But if we be part of the problem, then it not make sense at all why we they exist. So me they say in terms of trying for cleanse or trying for rebrand CSOs, a lot has to be done. You know, you get some group who get for team up for make sure say the bring we together or we get ourselves together and try first to find out within our issues then, within our problem then. How from that same day we go able to take them up and how for change some of the way and manner how we behave. Because the root problem always, if you don't find them out and try for solve the problem at superficial, we always they go into the same problem over and over again. And the issue of trying for make sure say we get sustainable peace in this country, you know. Now civil society self go for work hand in hand with everybody. We all go for work together because one government's not able to do them alone. Civil society self can't do that alone. So collectively, we all for work hand in hand. And just I want for make we say, yes, although people they say, oh, the peace index, we don't come up, yes, but it's not reflective of waiting they happen na the country. Yes, plenty people go say so. Because we dey watch them that way, then we don't get a mind, a fixated mind on how we think say na so salon day. We for try for the change some of them perspective then they. And for less Sierra Leone go na the world, although then get the indicators the way they use. So then the indicators where they use not to waiting na the indicators the way some people they take for see how best then they able for talk about issues them and relate them. But me think say the issue of the peace where we don't grow, and we all collectively, all civil society, all person, we work hand in hand, the media, everybody, we all don't try as citizens them, and we for continue for keep the peace. Just like how my brother John Coker just talked. After then call the results, yes, so we get some small skirmishes. There I see videos them where he actually uncalled for, unfortunate, and then they're not supposed to happen at all. Yesterday, I've been they say the same thing na IRN, na net, when I go to the radio discussion, that we for totally and entirely condemn even the SLPP government, because now them polo and then t-shirts and the people in wear for go and cause them mayhem then for condemn them people and they if they get hold of that particular video, look at the people the way they able for trace them and maybe ill them. Because not also person they celebrate at all. You go see that poor mommy they sell pepper. Una gets clash, una gets issues. All what you do now for scatter in market, you know, all that thing and they no call for. You see, and that person who say he don't sell something, we don't sell for the day. Now they cook for go feeding picking them. Now the small profits they get for go take care of in picking them we sick or waiting. But all that one they we need for condemn them. We need for totally day against them kind acts in it. When you celebrate well, let you know and bog other person. You know, because all money at one right now, and we forget that healing the first before ever we begin for heal ourselves as a country.
So looking at the role of peace, I mean, during this post-election term, not to just the leader of political party, them no more, everybody gets role for play.
We all get
just
am.
like I don't state, only the civil society self gets key role for play. For ensure say, wait when they say speak to the reality. We know the role of all citizens as well for ensure say, I mean, because whatever happen get for affect everybody. Waiting and say for the think about this time. Let them not do thing we go trigger the other person way maybe not in a very good situation right now.
We forbid law-abiding citizens, but I think saying that we lack in this country. Plenty people lawless, and as a result of that, they put we at risk. Lawlessness can bring risk to this country in fragile peace where we get. So we for begin for comport ourselves as law-abiding citizens. Waiting the law say we for go by them, and same way so the one the way they bring the law, where they put the law for also abide by the law, because the law is no respecter of persons. You mistake, you misbehave, then for deal with you. The law for deal with you accordingly. So make anybody who gets grievance. We get grievance redress mechanisms. I think saying that we for try for set up now every community, the GRM, the grievance redress mechanism for then every community where people then feel say then get issues, then go meet them people in the other structure they for solve their issue then once we get that one day right at community level, we put people in the way we trust, then the conflict then they stop for escalate, because already as they begin we don't nip them. We don't already try for settle now the community then also with friend with self. So I think saying a structure then way we for think about kingly way we for set up na community level.
So before you left we, as you don't state, obviously at any end of any election, not all man go gladdy, especially the one that on the losing side. And then tell them can get post-election trauma, I mean panic, stress, and other things. As a peace ambassador, waiting will be your message to them particular people and they for say, I mean, no matter how the outcome don't be now, they for always think alone and be peaceful. What exactly you would tell them for continue for heal them?
Okay, I just want to tell people them we agree the APC party, then supporter them, and also other people them where then at this country we don't actually afraid now for say we will soon go into chaos. I just want to say make we all take heart, let we all bear, let we all think about Mama Salon, let we forget about politics. Election don't come, it don't go. Now what we for think about now development. And same way so, the political party when then they in governance now, like how we've been done say me brother don't talk a lot of people they talk about that we for stretch hands and try for talk to the people then, because now this country it's like we all almost sabi we self. We all know brother and sister them. We they get intermarriages. We when we get something where we all they fit together like football. You see we all come together with this not the same feel. We they celebrate together. Where this one so don't happen this election, let we just brace ourselves for make sure say now development we they think about at this particular time. Let we swallow the bad water, let we swallow the bad pit and embrace yourself as Salon citizen then and think Mama Salon.
Okay, now over to you, Mr. Coker.
Basically, I want to make Sierra and think say maybe you political party lost, but we all necessarily we all win. The mere fact you're able work a go na market, you're able to sleep peacefully. You were in a village, you're able to grab na net, you come on a door, you do what you do, you go inside back. We all win. But let's look at how we're able to move the country forward. You were there na that you small community, na that office. You were there in that ministry, you all get a role for play. Not say because your party win, you for provoke the next party, the other person. Make we see ourselves say we all win and make we all celebrate together. Make we left and give the government, make it take care of we. Papa government, you take care of we, but we as ordinary citizens now, make we go about with business on a day-to-day basis. Make we move on. Thank you very much.
Okay, well, plenty. Thank you. We will join you in the studio. Now, so this edition of Good Morning Salon will left it for today. Plenty. Thank you to my producer Michael Sambola, who produced the program, and the rest of the Good Morning Salon team, and to DJ Cliff, who do technical support. Usman Kamala Samuel Ompa, make you watch it live on our Facebook page. Don't forget for listening to the program midday show at 12, Salon News at 7, and wait till be at 9. So to meet again, me na Princess Spears, we will say tata.
And Mina Sabti Kalon, the members inside the program today, we will talk to civil society them. We will talk about the way forward and then preach peace and call on everybody for be peaceful as election don't pass. Well, with that, I say continue to listen to Radio Democracy and goodbye.
The Society for Radio Democracy 98.1 FM. That's now been final edition of the program. Good morning, and welcome to you from Radio Democracy 98.1 FM. Well, we want to take this time.
Attention, attention. Are you hungry for the latest insights on politics and good governance issues from the motherland, Sierra Leone? Look no further than Talking Points, your go-to platform for engaging discussions. Subscribe today and let your voice surge. Talking Points is where smart minds come alive. Subscribe now.
With Talking Points platform, you can dive into thought-provoking discussions, connect with like-minded individuals, and broaden your horizons. Be among the first to know the latest happenings in Sierra Leone. Join us today, subscribe on YouTube, TPP Leone. Like our page on Facebook at Talking Points platform. It's your voice, you are in control. We believe in you. Subscribe now. Like our page. We love you.
Attention, attention. Are you hungry for the latest insights on politics and good governance issues from the motherland, Sierra Leone? Look no further than Talking Points, your go-to platform for engaging discussions. Subscribe today and let your voice surge. Talking Points is where smart minds come alive. Subscribe now.
Oh yeah, Talking Point platform, TTPTV. Oh yeah, Unale we pledge, we love and loyalty to we sweet, sweet mama salute. Now we all come together as well. For tomorrow, now we go make salute. Talking Point platform for news every day. Now we country salute for education, entertainment, political affairs. TV. We fought in Tanga one inside Sierra Leone like a big quantity. We breeze not a shit. Oh yeah, Talking Point platform, TTPTV. Oh yeah, Unale we pledge, we love and loyalty to we sweet, sweet mama salute. Now we all come together as well. For tomorrow, now we go make salute. Talking Point platform for news every day. Now we country salute for education, entertainment, political affairs. TV. We fought in Tanga one inside Sierra Leone like a big quantity. We breeze not a shit. TV.
Attention, attention. Are you hungry for the latest insights on politics and good governance issues from the motherland, Sierra Leone? Look no further than Talking Points, your go-to platform for engaging discussions. Subscribe today and let your voice surge. Talking Points is where smart minds come alive. Subscribe now.
With Talking Points platform, you can dive into thought-provoking discussions, connect with like-minded individuals, and broaden your horizons. Be among the first to know the latest happenings in Sierra Leone. Join us today, subscribe on YouTube, TPP Leone. Like our page on Facebook at Talking Points platform. It's your voice, you are in control. We believe in you. Subscribe now. Like our page. We love you.
Attention, attention. Are you hungry for the latest insights on politics and good governance issues from the motherland, Sierra Leone? Look no further than Talking Points, your go-to platform for engaging discussions. Subscribe today and let your voice surge. Talking Points is where smart minds come alive. Subscribe now.
Talking Point platform. TTP-TV. Oh yeah. Unale we pledge with love and loyalty to we sweet, sweet mama salute. Now we all come together as one. For tomorrow, now we go make salute. Talking Point platform for news every day. Now we country salute for education, entertainment, political affairs. TTP-TV. We got enough Tanga one inside Sierra Leone like a big country. We breeze not a shit. TTP-TV.